This week on Undercover Boss Canada. The country's largest privately owned cab company fights to keep drivers in their front seat.
We need to know what we have to do to keep them on the road for us.
For the first time, two bosses will put on disguises so they can find out what's really going on in the company they run.
This is my trainee, Dorothy.
And they're in for a bumpy ride.
Right.
Oh, you're wrong.
I do not know my way around this city.
Oh, I could never do this job.
They'll make startling discoveries.
My friend, he was hammered in the back just for $6.
So he pulled out this big knife and he says,
Oh.
Hey, have you seen my wife? Want to kill her?
I have to do whatever I can to make it right.
And when they finish riding shotgun, they'll return to head office and give the drivers they met the biggest tip of their lives.
I am Gail Souter, general manager of Beck Taxi.
Well, you fooled me that.
With the world economy in a fragile state, top corporations must adapt to survive. The bosses of some of Canada's biggest companies are about to take extreme action. To stay ahead of the game, they're going undercover in their own organizations. Beck Taxi is the #1 cab company in Canada's largest urban centre. They cover the Toronto area with 1,700 cars and 3,500 drivers. Last year alone, they made 15 million pickups. And in the driver's seat are two women.
My dad, Jim Beck, he was an entrepreneur from day one. He was always in business for himself. And he thought, well, driving cab might be, a good option. So he started with one cab and eventually grew that to a fleet of 25. And that's when Beck Taxi started.
This year, Beck Taxi will answer 7.5 million calls for service, which is the busiest year we've had in our history. That means about 15 million trips have been provided by Beck Taxi drivers this year.
As the general manager, I do run the company. I oversee every aspect. We are a service business, so I want to ensure that we give the very best service we can, or we might as well all go home. I am very fortunate. We're going to be third generation in this family business. My two children are very involved. Michael, my son, is more behind the scenes. Kristine is more up front. My husband, Don Souter, is involved in the dispatch end of things.
I love coming to work. I've been running around this office since I was a little girl. I begged my mom to get a job when I was about 15 years old.
Working with Kristine is a true joy, although there are times when doors get slammed. But, we're both very strong, confident women, and sometimes you clash.
I've been married for 10 years. My husband, Nathan, and I have two daughters. Nathan works here with us, so yeah, our family just continues to grow at Beck Taxi and at home. My mom is my ultimate role model. It's so much to do with the way that she has built this business and the way that she is known as being a fair and trustworthy person. That's what attracts drivers to Beck Taxi.
I was born in Toronto and grew up all over the east end of the city. I had a brother and a sister. My sister and my brother were a little bit dependent on me because my dad drove cab at night. So I would cook the meals and I would do the laundry, and I think that's where I became so controlling. My father passed away very suddenly in 1985. I was 33 years old at the time and had two young kids of my own. It was really difficult. There was a lot of animosity amongst the children who was going to take control. I was the girl. Let the boys, let the men take care of things. My brother, he thought he should run it. We were all behind that. It just didn't work out. So I had to stand up. It was a very, very difficult time. I was terrified that I would fail, and I had many sleepless nights.
I know that my mom sometimes thinks that maybe she wasn't around enough or maybe she worked too much, but I've never had that feeling. I mean, I know how important it was to her to save and build her father's business.
Beck Taxi was my dad's life. He devoted his whole life to to this company, and I want to do them proud.
Beck Taxi is a brokerage. We don't own the cars, and as a brokerage, our job is to attract drivers. We have two customers.
The driver's our customer in the front seat. The passenger is our customer in the back seat, and we have to keep both happy so that we can keep up with the demands of a growing city. We can never stop looking for better ways to provide service to our drivers.
If Beck Taxi doesn't keep drivers happy, they'll leave this company. And with that, the riders will have longer wait times and they'll stop calling us. So we need to stay on top of our game.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you all for being here this morning.
Mom and I have been trying to find ways to maintain our position as Toronto's best taxi company, and we've decided that the best way to do that is to go undercover in disguise.
Yeah, I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy, but I think that it's an invaluable opportunity for us to make some real changes in the company.
Great idea, but be prepared. You're in for a rude awakening, kiddos.
It's going to be interesting to see how Kristine does cope. She is directionally challenged a little bit, and she may get lost.
When I go undercover, my name will be Dorothy Cameron. I'm married, and I'm from Sarnia, Ontario.
I will tell people that my name is Lindsay Green, that I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia. My mom and I will tell people that we're working on a documentary to discover what it's like for women to work in a male-dominated industry.
I've never seen my mom in a disguise, and I think she's gonna look very funny. Me too.
Wow. Oh yeah, I'm a walking Beck Taxi.
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. That's scary.
My hair.
The transformation's unbelievable. It truly is incredible.
No one's gonna know us, right?
I think my mom is going to do really well. I think it'll be hard not to sort of take over.
And Kristine going out undercover is going to be fantastic. Kristine's an actress anyway.
Coming up,
Oh,
Gail's put through the ringer.
a little bit physical.
Yes, it is physical.
And later,
The experience is unlike any experience that people have in a taxi at all ever.
yesterday, Beck bosses Gail and daughter Kristine ran Canada's largest independent cab company. Now, their employees will be in the driver's seat. This afternoon, it's Gail's turn at the wheel.
I'm ready.
The taxi industry in Toronto is very heavily regulated. There is a two-tiered system. We have two classes of license. The standard license allows the owner and the operators of that license to share the business with multiple people. The ambassador permit, only one person can drive that vehicle. He bears all the same payments that are associated with a standard licensed taxi cab, but now you have one person who's bearing all of those costs.
Today I'm going to be riding in an ambassador cab, and I want to see how that driver is feeling about that permit and what we can do to make things better for him. Hi there.
Good day.
I'm Dorothy.
I'm Alwyn Edwards. They call me Mr. Edwards.
Mr. Edwards.
Sorry, I hope you enjoy my ride and my company.
Mr. Edwards drives his taxi under an ambassador license. He can't share it with other drivers, unlike the old standard license, which allowed multiple drivers and cost sharing.
Car wash.
I guess it's important to have a clean car.
Yes, it is. All the ladies, they really appreciate it. Sometimes it raises the level of the tip.
I never wash cars. My husband washes my cars, so this is a real experience for me. Okay, we gotta go. It's unbelievably strenuous. It's a little bit physical.
Yes, it is physical. I think she did a pretty good job, and the few little mistakes she'll make, I'll show her. Don't want to work you too hard. There's a lot more work to come.
I can tell that Mr. Edwards takes great pride in the condition of his car, and he's very particular about the way it's washed. I see it says Ambassador Taxi Cab. What does that mean?
Ambassador taxi cabs are the new plate that the city decided to issue, and that has become a big headache. They call us owner-operators. We are the only people can drive this cab, and all the expenses is on us. I averagely like to work 6 to 8 hours a day. But if at the end of the month, I don't make enough money to pay my bills, then I have to work more hours.
What if you don't feel well one day and don't want to go out working?
Well, we pray to God that we don't feel bad, because a couple of drivers forced it, and there has been like about 13 to 15 cab drivers that died from heart attack trying to do extra hours in this thing. We all hope, wish someday they will change all ambassadors to standard.
I can't tell you how frustrating it is to hear that drivers, especially long-term drivers, as Mr. Edwards, is in a situation where he can't retire. He's not a young man. He has the pressure of all the expenses of that car. I feel as though I have to do whatever I can to make it right. In all your years, you must have had some crazy experiences.
Yes, I have one. I was driving night shift, and I picked up this guy. He looked like he had a few drinks. He pulled out this big knife and he says,
"Oh,
hey, have you seen my wife? I'm looking for her. I want to kill her."
Was he in the car at that point?
Yes, he was in the car.
And he's wielding this big knife.
He said, she stopped me from seeing my babies, and I love my babies. So that was the key word, love my babies. I said, if you kill the things you love, then you're not going to see them again. So I said, okay, here what we're going to do. We're going to drive to the police station. I'll go inside and I'll explain your situation to him, because I think the only way he could see his wife and kids again is if he kind of sober up. So I shook his hand and I left him there, and
You may have saved his life.
I probably saved more than one life there.
More than one life, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't believe you stayed that calm. There is so much that we could do for drivers as far as safety goes. I think that we really have to take a good look at that. I think that Mr. Edwards could be part of the training session. He has an instinct. He knows how to react to a bad situation, and I think he could do volumes to help drivers.
Tonight, Mr. Edwards works a longer shift to make sure he's able to cover his weekly costs.
I'm good.
Mr. Edwards, he has a little anecdote for every customer that he gets in his cab.
I was born in the islands, Trinidad and Tobago. I migrated here in 1969. It was sub-degrees weather. I didn't know. As I pushed the door and came outside, the cold just banged. So I ran back inside. The best part of my job is meeting people, having a good conversation. Sometimes a good conversation is better than the price on the meter. Okay, you have a nice day now. You want to do a lot of shopping or looking to pick up a few things? A few stuff. That's my style, though.
He makes every ride a pleasure.
You sound like you're from the Philippines.
Yeah.
So you are a guapo.
Oh, yeah. Guapo? It refers to a handsome man.
Very
Handsome
nice. Mr. Edwards is beyond amazing. It's the little things that he does that gain us repeat business, and he does us proud. Okay, good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Okay, Dorothy, well, this is the end of my shift, and it was nice working with you. I hope you learned something.
It was a pleasure working with you, Mr. Edwards.
Okay.
I did learn a lot. After spending a day with Mr. Edwards, I'm more determined than ever to make things better for all drivers in our family.
Coming up,
The orders are piling up, and I'm definitely slowing business down. It's really hard for me not to say, here, take it back, take it back.
and later,
Sure.
Gail struggles to finish the job.
I definitely need more practice.
Beck Taxi bosses Gail and Kristine have joined their own rank and file to find out how they can make life for their drivers easier. What Gail found out was truly shocking.
So he pulled out this big knife and he says,
Oh.
"Hey, have you seen my wife? I'm looking for her. I want to kill her."
Tonight, it's Kristine's first shift working in disguise.
Fun.
Tonight I'm going to be working with a dispatcher. They are an essential ring in the chain of how this all works.
This is Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay. How you doing?
She'll be working with Tony, a veteran dispatcher in Toronto. There are 13 dispatchers on this 8-hour shift who will process over 10,000 calls.
So what happens is a customer calls and they want a taxi. The order taker is over on the other side of the room. They'll ask the customer where they are, what their address is. We'll get their name. They'll often ask them where they're going as well. The computer will recognize by the address whether it's in the northwest end of the city or the southwest. The order will then come to me. The computer again will tell me which of the sub-areas that order belongs to. And then I will find out if there's a driver sitting on the corresponding post. And if so, I'll give him the order. Put this headset on.
When Tony is passing me this headset, all I keep thinking is that I'm about to go on stage.
Now, the drivers are pretty good, but they rely on this radio to make a living. And if you make a mistake, people are gonna know. When I press this, that means they can hear you.
Okay.
You're gonna say, I need a car for the Malvern Town Center. And then let's see what happens. Right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
I need a car for the Malvern Town.
So now you're going to say 3458 and give them Markham.
Okay. 3458. You're picking up at Markham Road.
You're a star.
He's nicer to me than to you.
So I'm going to go take a break, and I'll be back in a little while. Car for Scarborough, Dolphin, Lawrence.
Not only is there so much information that has to be conveyed to the drivers, but it has to be right. I need a car in the Bridlewood. If I get one number wrong, this driver is going to go to the wrong address. One mistake can just, end up being a complete disaster.
You have to stay sharp and you have to stay focused. You have to be able to work under pressure.
I don't sound very sure what I'm saying.
That's because you're not 100% confident. She's not confident. The drivers will make it very difficult for her.
5.
She has to work on her speed.
The orders are piling up, and I'm definitely slowing business down, and it's really hard for me not to say, here, take it back, take it back.
The waits got so long, there's now a cancellation.
That one, and you see the CXL? That means the order's been canceled. So now we're going to go to the B14.
Does that stress you out?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's getting kind of backed up there. Maybe I should catch up on that.
Yeah, I think maybe that's a good idea.
Is somebody booking for the Birchinell? Or is there somebody on the B5 bound?
Watching Tony do his job is like watching a master at work. I mean, I don't know how he keeps it all straight, how he maintains any type of organization. I feel like I take on a lot of responsibility here, but the dispatchers and all the call center staff, they take on a lot of responsibility too.
Channel 5 for the moment is actually Channel 9. Yes, sir. There's someone else for info.
What does that mean, info, for info?
Info can mean anything. If the driver, maybe he's looking for a particular address, maybe his customer says, I want to go to such and such a restaurant, and the driver doesn't know where the restaurant is, he'll ask the dispatcher.
And you can help him locate restaurants and...
I try to, yeah.
It troubles me that when there's work to be done, that Tony or other dispatchers have to be concerned with drivers' questions, and maybe we could find a way to manage that better. I'd like to know how you found yourself here. I mean, so driving cab.
Driving cab, I drove for about 10 years, and then I had an accident, and I ended up in the wheelchair.
What happened?
I broke my neck.
Okay.
In a diving accident.
Right.
Actually, I didn't hit the bottom, I just hit the water kind of funny, and it twisted my neck around and broke 2 vertebrae. When I first got to the hospital, they told me to make peace with my family and my God, because I probably wasn't going to survive. I told them I wasn't ready.
Right. How old are you?
30.
That's young for that.
There's never a good age for that.
Like that.
I was in the hospital for a couple of years, through 2 years of hard work, rehab, doctors, nurses, physiotherapists. And then I went back to university, and then I decided I wanted to get back to the cab business because it was kind of in my blood. Frankly, I like the people in the cab industry. Eccentric might not be the right word, but it's not that far off, and I like to be with them.
Tony is a great guy. What he has overcome and the way he lives his life and the positive outlook that he has, he is the example of inspiration and perseverance. He is a huge benefit to Beck Taxi. What is it that you do when you have this job, but there must be other things?
I do lots of different things. I do a lot of photography. I do a lot of urban nature photography. When bad things happen to you, life goes on.
I think maybe that helps you manage how crazy it must get here sometimes.
Maybe. One nice thing about breaking your neck is that no matter what else happens, it won't be the worst thing that ever happened.
Yeah, that's amazing.
My shift is over. Obviously we're 24 hours. You did really good there for the first time, putting the headset on. It's tough. Rise up, rise up.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tony.
My pleasure. Good luck.
I want to make sure we're doing whatever we can to support our dispatchers. Their job is a difficult job, and I want to make sure that we're allowing them to do that in the best way they can.
Coming up,
It'll kick back out.
mechanic panic.
I could never do this job.
Beck Taxi execs Gail and Kristine have gone off the grid so they can find out how they can improve working life for their drivers. Kristine had trouble getting up to speed.
The orders are piling up, and I'm definitely slowing business down.
Today, Gail's back in disguise.
We have approximately 1,700 cabs, and they're on the road 24/7. It's imperative that our cabs are kept in good running order. I'm going to be working with the mechanic today who's responsible for keeping the cabs on the road safe. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Brian. I love my job. As soon as you come through the door, just go, go, go. With every taxi that comes in, we'll make sure the car is mechanically fit to go back out on the road.
Ooh, high
Okay.
beams are on.
Brian is mostly involved in doing repairs. But when the taxi shift changes, the pressure's really on.
It's a constant cycle. Every 12 hours, the cars are coming in. This is not like a normal garage where you try and get cars and customers to come in. I'm trying to keep the cars out because when the cars come in here, they're costing money.
The drivers pretty much depend on you.
Yes, they do.
Is there a driver waiting for this car?
Yes, there is. He's losing money
money.
because he's sitting here.
But, you know, it's all about safety.
That's what I look at it too.
Yeah, I guess we've got to get this guy back on the road.
Yes. Okay, now this, it'll kick back out. See? Okay. Oh, you see? That's what I mean about it has that kick. Dorothy's having a little bit of difficulties.
I think I'm slowing you down here, Brian.
Pull the tire off, it's going to be heavy. It's not going to be
You have to
light.
be physically fit in this job. If you're not physically fit, you're not going to be able to do it.
Sure.
I never realized how physical it was to be a mechanic. There we go.
Okay.
All right. I have my hat off to you, I'll tell you that. Brian is an ideal mechanic. He is such a great guy. He's instructing me.
Okay.
What does that mean?
You're not going to learn it all in one day and think you're a professional because it's not going to happen that way. It takes time.
I feel the kind of pressure that you're under. Time is money. Keeping the car safe, but getting it out back on the road in good time is just as important. I'm extremely happy with what I'm seeing here. Brian is incredible. He can get all this done on his own. All right. I could never do this job.
Now I have to go find a wrench.
I don't know how you keep track of all this stuff.
I buy all my own tools.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
They're all yours.
They're all mine. I have
Interesting.
roughly around $70,000, $80,000 in tools.
My goodness.
And it's still not enough tools because the cars are getting newer. You got to buy newer equipment.
When I learned that Brian has spent $70,000 on tools, it shows me how dedicated he is. I had no idea how much is involved. It's incredible and very humbling. And you must enjoy working on the newer cars.
Oh, I do. It is so much more fun.
So you're always looking to learn
To
and
learn,
expand.
that's what being a mechanic is.
Are there upgrading courses that
Yes.
you can take?
You can take them.
Okay.
Yes.
And would that be at your expense?
Yes, my expense.
It would be. I think that the mechanics should be constantly upgrading their training. And I'm going to go back to my team and see if there's something that we can do. I think you've got some customers out here.
Yes. Now is going to be the chaos. Because the cars have been out there for 12 hours now. And we're going to have 40 cars very shortly.
40?
Yeah. We're going to work hard. We're going to work fast.
Okay, all right. I'm pretty nervous about checking these cars. They have to be done quickly and they have to be done properly. That car can't leave unless it's safe. And I didn't even gas up my own car before today.
Dorothy?
Yes.
We're on call.
Okay, Brian, coming.
All right.
Coming up,
Cars are coming in and out like crazy. What kind of strange lock has this got, I wonder?
General Manager Gail and Operations Manager Kristine are responsible for running Beck Taxi. But they've been working under an assumed identity.
See?
Gail is punched in for a shift with Brian.
Now is gonna be the chaos. Dorothy,
Yes.
we're on call.
Okay, Brian, coming.
All right.
And turns
see?
the engine off.
Every taxi has to have their oil and transmission checked and a quick inspection before the night shift starts.
Right.
This is transmission dipstick.
Okay.
Okay. Start the car. Okay, so we're good there too.
Everything
Now it's
looks good?
You can close the hood. We'll send him on.
Okay.
And we got the next one coming
Thank
in here.
you. So now what do you do?
Okay.
Okay, I'll
You're
go up there.
You're up.
All right. Okay. And what kind of strange lock has this got, I wonder? I have never done this before. I don't know what I'm doing, really. All right. It's getting darker, a little harder to tell. I'm nervous that I'm making sure that the car is safe to go out again. Sorry, could you start the car one more time for me? Start the car? All right, we'll do this again. Busy spot here, I don't know. Cars are coming in and out like crazy.
You checked the transmission?
Yes, I did.
When the car was running or off?
Off.
Nope, running. Running. Remember, transmissions always check with the car running. So Dorothy, a few things she forgot, but I reminded her and she picked up and away she went again.
The right way.
Okay.
Okay.
So we shut the hood.
Brian works on his own. I cannot believe how chaotic it gets in that garage. It's a long day.
Yep. But it's a fun day.
Well,
You learn stuff.
well, that's good. It's good that you enjoy what you're doing.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Brian is an amazing guy. Here he is, day in, day out, working hard. He's a real trooper. Do you ever take any time off?
No, maybe once a month.
That's nice. I think his whole life is his work. Work really is his hobby.
I've been in this garage about 20 years. I'm still here. There was a major fire that happened in '97. The garage burnt to the ground. One of my best friends, Jerry, he was the head mechanic back then. I was the apprentice. We were both in here doing the night shift. I went one way, he went another. I thought he went out. He didn't make it.
I'm so sorry.
It's just, it's hard for me to talk about it. It changed my life. I was married, and I found it hard to cope with a lot of things. It's hard.
I can imagine.
Now I don't look backwards because it hurts too much.
It does. Yeah. Losing someone special to you can alter your life. And I lost my dad at a very young age and very suddenly, and it really is life-changing. And I see that in Brian. It's taking the good things out of tragedy like that makes you stronger, I think.
Well, if it's done anything for me, it's made me stronger. It's made me think of things a little bit differently than the way I used to look at.
I think you're a pretty strong guy.
I try to be anyways. Our day is done. We get to go home and relax.
Well, I'd have to say it's a pretty good, honest day's work.
It was nice to meet you and work with you. I hope you learned something today.
Thanks, Brian. It was so worthwhile going undercover here today. I find it very humbling. You do not work alone, and there's a lot of great people that make us a great company.
Coming up.
Right.
Oh, you're wrong.
And later.
I am not Dorothy.
I don't know what to say.
Disguised bosses Gail and Kristine have been on the road for the past week. It's nearly the end of their tour of duty, so they've decided to have a quick catch-up.
How are you?
Are you making out?
It's going well. I mean, it's been so busy.
If you make a mistake, people are going to know.
But I think we're getting some good ideas.
I think so.
I think that Mr. Edwards could be part of the training session as far as safety goes.
I think it's going really well. I think I'm getting the answers, that I may not have if I had my own hair. So. Customer service is the most important thing to our business, and we rely on taxi drivers to provide the best service in the city of Toronto. Today, I'll be driving with one of Beck Taxi's most well-known drivers. I mean, if there's something that this driver can teach me, I'm ready to hear all about it. Good to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. My name is Akbar Ali Batada, and people call me as a cosmic cab.
Cosmic cab. Akbar's car is amazing to me. It's, you know, just filled with so many decorations. I can't even try to imagine how much time he has put into this. Do you think you make more money because of this?
Yes, but I'm not doing for money.
Yeah.
I like to make people happy. That's why I like my job.
In a typical shift, Akbar has around 20 radio calls and street pickups.
I was really anxious about riding with passengers, I'll admit that. I hear about violence against drivers, and I think every time they pick someone up, they have no idea what they're about to contend with. And I feel like they're putting their lives on the line with every person they pick up. I had no idea what to expect. Did I get the right time?
Good evening, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Where am I?
You're in the cosmic cab. You would like a lollipop?
Sure, I'll take a lollipop. The level of customer service is astounding. And when Akbar turns on the music, that's when the party starts.
You have fun now, eh? I'm excited too, that's it. Yeah, I'm excited.
I think the experience in Akbar's Cosmic Cab is unlike any experience that people have in a taxi at all, ever. Thank you. I think the decorations start the conversation, but his mood and his happiness is just contagious.
What's the deal with the Cosmic?
So 6 years ago, it came up dream like 4 in the morning.
It was a dream that you had when you were sleeping?
Yes, yeah.
Really?
People love to see something different, right? You enjoy the thing, you like it, yeah?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
People aren't waiting to get to their destination. Their evening starts in his cab.
Do you ever have, like, dangerous situations?
For me?
Yeah.
Not so far, but I know one of my friend, he was hammered in the back.
Wow.
Just for $6.
Really?
Yeah, instead of money, asking the money, they gave a hammer, big one. So that guy was in coma for 2 years.
When Akbar talks about his friend, you know, the idea that someone was in a coma over a $6 fare, those are the stories that make you just want to work harder to find ways to make it safer and better for cab drivers in the city.
Yeah.
The city bylaw, they have a camera. All the cars should be equipped with a camera.
There's a camera in all of them?
In the
I
car.
didn't know that.
Yeah, but you see, they take every 5-10 seconds one picture. But it's good. After it become a camera, there is a safety thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen very often.
Do you think people are aware of the fact that there are cameras in the car?
I wasn't.
You weren't.
I take cabs all the time.
The cameras inside the taxis, I think, are a great deterrent. And it was surprising to me that there are people who don't know that they're in the cabs. Maybe we need to make people more aware of that. Do you think that taxis are too expensive?
I think it's a little bit expensive, yes.
Is gas your biggest expense as a taxi driver?
Yes. Everything is cost money. Like car prices jump up.
Yeah.
If you buy a new car, it's too much money. You're looking for a $35,000, $36,000 car.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been made very clear to me that drivers have a lot of expenses, and we don't have control over things like insurance and gas. But if there's a way that I can reduce costs, it might be something really worth looking into.
Okay, car 7202 Mad Crescent, they request a call out.
Roger, thank you.
Thank you. Next turn at W7.
All taxis are equipped with GPS, but drivers must still complete city navigation courses.
Okay, I have to be south of DuPont in 5 minutes. Tell me which route should I take.
Oh my goodness. Akbar has asked me to get to a specific intersection in the city, and I'm a little nervous. I have to admit, I'm at a complete loss. I don't even know which direction we're facing right now.
DuPont goes east and west.
So Lansdowne is up ahead.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through Lansdowne.
I don't think so.
Uh-oh, we're heading south right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that doesn't help me.
Oh, you have to tell me now.
So I'm gonna say if you can turn right.
Oh, you are wrong. She has to study a little bit more, and she has to work hard.
I have no idea.
No?
No, I don't know. I absolutely do not know my way around this city. It's shocking how really on the ball you have to be all the time.
By the time Kristine and Akbar finally arrive, they failed to meet the company's 10-minute answer goal.
I think we've got our customer. When the customer came out, it was so obvious that she wasn't very happy. I was really anxious. Welcome to the Cosmic Cab. When you're able to watch a person's mood completely change, it's something that is amazing to see.
Okay, you're late now. I'm trying to try my best, okay?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
But you see what happened when you come in my car, you forget all your problems, late stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it gives you some more energy, right?
Yeah, and this is the best ride ever.
Oh, see how happy people are?
She was not happy when we first went to pick her up.
Because she was running late.
She came in here and fell down laughing. And she was the happiest person we've had.
Yeah, that's why everybody does the same thing.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think the message is pretty clear that good customer service is the answer. And I think that it might be interesting to look at how other drivers can maybe integrate some of what he does into their own business. I think it's been really worthwhile going undercover, and it's everything I hoped it would be. My grandfather would be beyond proud of what my mom has accomplished, and I just think that never in his wildest dreams could he have imagined what she's doing now. Oh, yay, fun.
What Beck Taxi is today is really a tribute to Jim Beck.
My goal now is to just make it better.
Coming up, Gail and Kristine's employees are on their way to company HQ. And for the first time, they're not in the driver's seat. Mother-daughter team and undercover bosses Gail and Kristine have tossed their wigs and comfy clothes aside for power suits and pumps. Their execs are anxious to find out if they got any tips.
We definitely have the most caring and courteous drivers, but we both heard horror stories of drivers who are faced with assaults, and as a company, we need to do more to keep our drivers safe. And one aspect of our business that really hadn't occurred to me before were the mechanics. We need to make sure that the mechanics have available to them the proper training to keep them up to date with the new technology. And as a company, we need to see what we can do about that. It's been an exciting week. We've got lots to do. Let's get at it.
Akbar, Mr. Edwards, Brian, and Tony are on their way to HQ. They think they'll be evaluating the trainees they worked with, but life's about to take them in a different direction.
Hi.
Sounds like Dorothy, maybe?
I am not Dorothy. I am Gail Souter, the general manager of Beck Taxi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm Kristine Hubbard, operations manager of Beck Taxi.
So you fooled me that.
Did you know it was me?
I didn't know, and I thought, I'm just going to go with it.
You did great.
You're laughing a lot here, Brian.
Akbar, your Cosmic Cab is already a legend. Something else that I learned with you was you thought that the security cameras really deter violence against taxi drivers.
Yes.
If we were able to deter even one violent act, and for all the taxi drivers, we'd like to do that. We need to start a campaign to let the public know that those cameras are there. Akbar, your desire and ability to make people happy is something that is overwhelming, clearly. We traveled with a customer that I thought wasn't going to be very happy. But when she got in the car, she literally fell down laughing. And what I realized is people, what they want is to talk to you. Personally, truly, we'd like to do something special for you because I think that you do such a great job. And we're going to give you $10,000 as an incentive to buy a hybrid vehicle. And with a hybrid vehicle, you could save up to 50%
Yes, that's what I heard,
on your gas costs.
Wow, that's nice, good news for me. Even my cab is in the Cosmic Cab, people know, but that's okay. We are with the Beck. I'm with the Beck all the time, all my life till I die, okay? Yeah, I feel great. So I'm grateful for them. My favorite color is like orange and green. That's my favorite color.
Mr. Edwards, I love spending the time with you. One of the reasons that Kristine and I have gone undercover is because of the ambassador program. Being on the road with you that day made me really understand that this is a program that needs some serious changing.
Yes, ma'am.
So we found a way to be able to do that. Mom and I are trying to work very closely with City Hall
to getting the taxi license system changed.
We really appreciate that very much.
But I was saddened to hear of the frightening situations that you've had to be put in.
So he pulled out this big knife and he says, "Hey, have you seen my wife?"
What I learned was that you were able to diffuse a bad situation. I want to see if you would be interested in becoming Beck Taxi's Director of Driver Safety, a paid position where you would have a part in our website and a page in our driver's handbook.
I hope you have a lot of pages. Thank you very much.
You will hopefully look to retire in the next several years. So to help you out with that, we would like to offer you $10,000 in a retirement savings fund so that you can start to build towards your retirement.
And I sort of feel like I want to jump out of my pants right now. And I'm going to make Beck Taxi very proud about the position that they are just given to me.
Brian, you are the epitome of a good mechanic. You're at the top of your game. You keep yourself educated in the ever-changing technology. We also want to do something for you. You love your tools. We want you to go a little crazy and take a $5,000 shopping spree and buy some new tools.
Really?
There's something else as well. It's time for you to relax a little bit. You work so hard, and we would like to give you $5,000 to enjoy and to use as you see fit.
I don't know what to say.
We also had a moment when we were in the garage where you told me about your friend.
Jerry, yeah.
And losing him in the fire. In memory of your friend, we would like to start a bursary that would be available to children of the employees of Beck Taxi. And every year that would be offered, and it would be given in his name to have his memory live on.
Thank you. I'm speechless. Right now, I feel just overwhelmed. To be recognized by Beck Taxi is an achievement for me. It's beautiful. I love it.
Tony, you are an amazing dispatcher. One thing that I noticed while we were dispatching orders is the time spent telling drivers where new posts are. And while you could be dispatching orders, you're answering those questions. We need to find a way around that. We've come up with a solution in that Mom is going to host a sort of radio show
where I could potentially talk to hundreds of drivers at one time. I've always wanted my own radio show, so here I go.
There you go. I think it's a fabulous idea.
You have a tremendous spirit, Tony. I just think it's inspiring, and we're so thankful to have you working as part of our team. We just really wanted to reward you for all the hard work that you do. And something we talked about was your love of photography.
Right.
We might like to commission you to make this environment a place that people can enjoy your work.
I'd love to.
Secondly, what we'd like to do, because you're the one who knows what you want, to give you $10,000.
No.
To decide what it is that you want to do with it, because you know yourself better than anyone else.
I can't. I don't know that I can even accept that.
We really want you to.
Of course you can. I'm sure you can put it to very good use.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. Thank you. I feel very much the same. I feel very close to a lot of people here, but I feel very close to the Beck family. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It feels really good to be recognized for the work that I do here, and that is a wonderful thing. I really enjoyed the whole experience, and getting a bonus was good, too.
I'm so glad we went undercover. I'm so glad that I was able to have the experience.
I think my dad would be very proud of where we've taken the company, and we're going to make sure moving forward that Beck Taxi is the place that people want to work.